Let's move on to AT&T, Susan. Can you tell us a little bit of your story and some of the magic that occurred in AT&T through, your leadership?
Well, I don't know if I can take credit for all the magic that goes on, but I do think that as a non-technical person, we all look at everything as magic, even though we know it's not. A lot of what we do is really looking at good design. And one of the reasons that we have the person who really heads the strategy around universal design is a person who has a PhD in human factors. Because when you design well, and when you look at accessibility as one of the criteria you judge by, you tend to end up with a better product across the board. And you also have people who use products in a way that you may not have initially thought of, but provide new markets. And you look at the Internet of Things today, the whole product thing that was developed with Amazon, with Alexa, and the Echo products. That was really not designed for blind people, but I can't think of a blind person that I know that doesn't have that, or Google Home, or something like that. So the markets are out there as well. I think that when you're looking at the products across the board, though, in a big company, sometimes you have to do some forms of institutionalization, which means you have to have some structure in place. So we have really a two-pronged approach. One is, are you WCAG 2.0 level AAA, I think now, accessible for websites? Okay, that's the low bar. Or are you complying with FCC regulations? Again, that's what we hope is the low bar. But it gives you a strategy if you're not, if you're new in an area, you can go to all these resources that are out there. And then, how do you apply it in a way that you inspire the product developers, the business units to be excited about accessible design, about universal design? And it really goes back to, in our case, often having people with disabilities engaged. There's the phrase in the disability community, nothing about us without us. That's pretty much true for all of diversity. You can't say we're going to have a diverse workforce or a diverse customer base and only hire people who look exactly like you and think like you. And so part of what we also do is kind of on the softer skill side, which is to say, work with people with disabilities. I mean, sometimes we'll say, how do we hire someone? You hire them. Not quite that simple. You have to find them. You have to find this skill set. I'm very excited about your product, not only from a disability perspective, but from the fact that I have an 11-year-old who could go through all these skills and benefit and is trying to figure out what she wants to do. A lot of what you do to find the talent, to find the good design, is really to engage in strengths. You've heard this over and over again. Build to those strengths, find the good matches, and it might be a person with disabilities who's really excited about technology, and it might be a person who doesn't have a disability. It could be either way. You want the person that's excited. You just want to make sure that your company, and this is where we've done a lot of work, is welcoming and doesn't unintentionally discriminate, because our processes, like how you onboard someone, a lot of companies, your ability to apply for a job may not be accessible, and that's where you need to have not only just an accessible site, but somebody who looks end to end and says, we have a site that's accessible, we have accommodations for people with disabilities, and we let them know that you can have an interpreter, you can have accommodations, let us know, we're welcoming. We train the people who are doing the hiring and the recruiting, because frequently they just don't look for someone who's not like them. And it's across our diversity.
And frequently people have had very limited access to individuals with disabilities.
Yes.
Really, we are 1 in 5, I think 1 billion worldwide, right here in America, 57 million. But yet you were just saying, I gotta go find somebody with a disability to get a job. Really?
Yeah.
Right. Really?
And that's because they're being excluded in the career
Right,
centers.
and that's
They don't all have L.U.R. there.
that's part of this universal approach now, is we all know, folks, it's about our friends, it's our neighbors, and it's our connections. And I think that leads into you
Well, there's also this issue, right? Person with a disability, person without a disability, right? So there's some visual indicators, but there's also a lot of hidden disabilities.
Yes.
And those are the people that often fall through the cracks. Because this is really easy, right? You see me walking down the street, you kind of know what you have to do. But when it comes to autism, when it comes to dyslexia, ADHD, those are not as easy to identify. And so it's a little bit harder to address those.